So you use the word rigidity a fair amount. And if we're looking at any news article, any IT article, any kind of design, whatever organizational article, everyone talks about flexibility, agility, and sounds to be a bit counter to rigidity. So if we're talking about, experimentation and some of the most prominent companies of our days and one you're working for, they experiment, they try different things. It's more about effectiveness than efficiency. How do you match this? So how do you match this between how much bureaucracy, because it's taking down the ability to experiment and be flexible, but we all need a center point and a rigidity, something we can agree on, right, to some extent. Otherwise, we can't communicate even. So how do you square that?
So I thought a lot about that, and what I realized is these are not opposites. They're not in opposition. Where we want flexibility, where we want agility, is in our ability to change course rapidly, to innovate creative solutions, to inspect and adapt, essentially, to keep making decisions as we see how things are going. And that agility is absolutely crucial in every organization. It turns out that one of the best ways to get that agility there is to have somewhat rigid guardrails and structures in place. So you'll find that a lot of organizations that use agile approaches to IT, for example, use some sort of guiding structure or framework. Maybe it's like Scrum, 2-week increments, 2-week iterations and daily stand-ups and things like that. There's structure around it. Or in DevOps, where we use automated integration builds, deployments, a lot of automation, which is rigid if you think about it. It just works in a certain way and you don't keep changing that. Being able to do those things is what gives you the true agility and flexibility. Often I'm asked by executives that I talk to, how can we have control over what's going on if there's agility? How can, for example, with security, how can we make sure that the code that these agile teams are producing is secure? And the answer is you do it with rigidity. You have guardrails. You have automated security tests that keep getting applied. You have automated policy enforcement in your cloud environment. All of these things are, in a way, they're examples of bureaucracy. They're an automated kind of bureaucracy. But if you have those guardrails in place, then people can be as creative as they want and move as fast as they want because they can't get outside the guardrails.